Cara, and I'd like to explain to you the main concept of my paper, entitled Illegal Migrant Work and its Contribution to Poverty Reduction. Well, first of all, we must consider that migration is increasing all over the world. This is the result of an extreme need of poor population to acquire the necessary resources to live, but by another point of view, the migration is an enormous capital for the economies of host countries, and in fact many amnesties approved during the last years to legalize unauthorized migrants prove the high demand of migrant work. But notwithstanding this, illegal labor markets are so wide in industrialized countries. So my thesis is that industrialized countries require illegal work to contain the cost and to increase the profits. In the first part of my paper, I analyzed the economical mechanism of demand and supply of illegal immigrant labor using Gary Becker's Nobel Prize-winning theory. While in the second part, I try to analyze the role of migration in poverty reduction and the catastrophic effects that the restraint put by developed countries would have on poor countries. And in support of this topic, I quote an interesting study by Katie Newland for the Migration Policy Institute of Washington. Well, now let's see the demand and supply of illegal migrant work. Migrant work. According to bankers, who thinks to move try to make the best of their opportunities and skills. A potential migrant values the difference among the expected salary in host country and the fixed salary in his country. But an illegal potential migrant had to value the detection probability and the possible penalty too. So we can conclude that with more checks and more sanctions by migration policies, there is a decrease, a reduction in the demand of illegal work. However, a statistic confirmed by many experience, as we probably know a lot of this experience, seems to contradict our remarks. In fact, actually, people move in any case, often risking their life, as in the case of US-Mexican border or of Lampedusa Island. So, the gap among rich and poor countries is so deep that some measures of deterrence don't hit the supply of illegal immigrant work. Well, let's turn to the second part of my paper. So, the impact of diaspora on poverty reduction. During the last year, nations and international agencies have awakened to the potentiality of diaspora for development, poverty reduction, etc. We use the word diaspora as made Schaeffer. In fact, Schaeffer said modern diasporas are ethnic minority groups of migrant origins, residing and acting in host country but maintaining strong sentimental and material links with their countries of origin. I focus on this kind of migrant because only a migrant that maintain a strong link with his countries, with his country of origin, will contribute to the development of his country. Well, the member of diaspora, legal or not, contribute to the development of their home country, sending a great volume of financial flow. And the main tool that the migrants have to raise their family are the remittances. The remittances directly are reducing poverty because remittances go towards poor households. household, are used for basic needs, stimulate consumption, and are an investment in human capital, etc. Even if remittances are a great tool used by migrants, there are other kind of support cutting by governments. So, for example, to sustain cutting FDI, foreign direct investments, as in the case of China, or India tried to sustain technology transfer, above all by the United States. And Eritrea, unfortunately in the case of Eritrea, the diaspora contributes for war efforts. And in the case of Mexico, there are local development projects, very interesting local development projects. In the case of Taiwan, we see that government seek diaspora for human capital, because in Taiwan there was a large brain drain in last year. Okay. We have seen some model, and now we can make some consideration. Which of these actions are most likely to reduce poverty? We don't know. It depends on the situation. But we can say sure that a lot of these countries have suffered the effect of war, and so a lot of these countries firstly need peace. Secondly, migrants recognize social needs better than donors, so we must hear migrants' opinion. And finally, nowadays diaspora is undoubtedly an advantage, but a good diaspora strategy cannot replace a development strategy. Now let's see the last point of my exposition, donors' policies towards diaspora. I will be very critical on this. In last years, the donors and multilateral agencies policies changed because they put apart the aid for development and try to support other forms of aid. For example, they support remittances towards developing countries. But I think that the most important thing in the donors' policies is that there is no coherence. Because by one side, donors try to help this country, sending aid, etc. But by the other side, they close their boundaries. The closing of boundaries means an exploitation of illegal migrant labor, as I said before, to contain the cost and to increase the profits. And so this means an erosion of potential contribution of diaspora in poor countries.